The NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers under the lights on Sunday night.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Packers. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Two teams that have met at least twice a year since 1932. The Lions and Packers underway from Lambeau. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the 7th-year man out of Cal, the top pick back in 2016, Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl, and came really within 1 quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
And Goff going to look to throw right away. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
They stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Goff. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then with the tackle.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Goff now looks to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
On fourth down, Goff departs, and Austin Seibert is out there for the Lions field goal now. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Seibert's kick is good, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Here we go with the Packer offense guided by their decorated QB with a long list of Pro Bowls and other accolades next to his name, of course. Aaron Rodgers leading the way.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see him blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Right side to Watson. It's up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a ton under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Rodgers able to find Lazard. And he is going to have a Packers first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Getting established, you're moving the ball, you're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's taken in by Watson. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's 2nd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson, and unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
5 yards remain on second down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop. Goff now looking to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Jack Fox out to punt here on fourth down. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. First and 10. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. To throw again on second down. Rodgers. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. Now it's Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 38. To throw is Rodgers. That would almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
They work again from the 38 on second and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. That's complete to Dobbs. And he's brought down at the 19 after a gain of 19. First down in the red zone. So here's a first and 10 now down inside the 20. Now a draw play. This is Jones. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Rodgers now to throw. Tunyon's got it on the out route. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Here's Rodgers. He'll go right back to Tunyon. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. 2nd and goal from the 1. Jones will score. Touchdown, Packers. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. He's got it, and they'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Another shot now for this Lions offense. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10. At their own 26. Now Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Goff. Screenplay set up for Williams. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Able to avoid him at the 40. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st down, it's Goff. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Goff now to throw. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they're going to get this up to midfield. And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on third.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That's one heck of a third down conversion, a pickup of 39.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Goff throwing again. This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Here's Goff. Buying time to his... And it'll be intercepted. And the Packers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw brought in by Watson. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 13 yards, first down, Packers. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Room here to run. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. To throw, it's Rodgers.
Quick slant to Watson. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first.
58 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers.
He's got the hook up with Dobbs.
That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And it's a Packers touchdown.
Robert Tonyan.
A 5-yard touchdown. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Now Crosby for the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays.
And it was Robert Tonyan capping it all off on the touchdown grab.
After the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Detroit's offense ready to take over.
And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. and that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Goff. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On 2nd down, Swift.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Goff. Looking for Wright, and he finds him. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 40. That's good for 28 yards.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Goff, a handoff here to Swift.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Gone. This is caught by Williams.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Now we give up the middle to Williams. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Goff. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Here's Goff.
He's going to get that to Swift underneath.
And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
On 4th down, Goff departs, and Austin Seibert is out there for the Lions field goal now.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Green Bay returning on offense, led by running back Aaron Jones.
And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Cobb. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Throwing now is Rodgers.
That's complete to Dobbs.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle, Jones.
And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Rodgers going to throw. Caught by Cobb. So the completion good for 6 yards. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3.
Here's Rodgers.
Got a man. It's Tunyon. And he's going to have a Packers 1st down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
Let's go, baby. Let's go now. Let's go.
Two 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Second down, another shot for Jones.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
The Packers on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Rodgers to throw. Able to find Lazard. Touchdown, Packers. Allen Lazard, 54 yards. And the Packers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point try now for Crosby. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the result, a Green Bay score. After the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Lions offense set to take over.
And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Third and 2, Goff. Man open, it's St. Brown, he's got it.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Goff on first down.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Meanwhile, Goff's throw going into the hands of Williams.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 38-yard line. 15 yards there on the play as they try to chip away at this 15-point deficit.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Goff now to throw. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Again, Goff. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Here's Goff. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown.
Jamison Williams.
30 yards.
And the Lions get a bit closer.
The fly route works for the TD grab.
And the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. He's got it. They're back within a score. It's 8, 21-13. So that one an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards.
And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route too.
A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Rodgers.
And complete once again to Watson.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Shotgun now for Rodgers.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Rodgers now to throw.
Pass complete. He's got Lazard on the out route.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down. Now Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Now it's Rodgers.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Here's Pat O'Donnell on now to punt it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. The final shot before break here. Goff.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark.
They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
Seibert's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime at a 5-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Lions. And it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they too were able to take advantage of a soft secondary, as both of these two teams really threw the ball at will in that first half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter.
And no run back here as the 3rd quarter will commence with a touchback. And the Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Again, it's Jones. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
76 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. An inside give to Jones. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 13 yards, 1st down Packers. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the 1st half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the 2nd half.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Try to lay one up deep. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Let's have some fun. Let's get some going. Let's turn it up. Let's do it. Get it, man.
And they'll need the 39 here for a 1st. This is 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their 1st possession of the 2nd half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force the 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is fielded at the 27. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards.
And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense, trotting back out. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle.
Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit first down.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
What's the deal, y'all? Get something else coming.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to kick it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Rodgers. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Rodgers again now. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. So out now come the Lions. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. On 1st down, Goff. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards, the final tally. Here's Goff. Wright's got it. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down. From the gun, here's Goff. And his throw is incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now it's Goff. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short, because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the 1st down.
Throwing again is Goff. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3. Goff now looking to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Goff now looks to throw. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry, it's Williams. And not much, maybe a yard down to the 23.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Goff. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Williams will try again. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
About a half yard from the end zone, 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Williams. And this time he is in.
Yes.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Dan Campbell makes the call. His guys will go for 2 here. Goff looking to throw. And he's got it. The try for 2 is successful,
And it pushes the lead up to a field goal. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage, at least give your team a fighting chance.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Nixon now from his end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On second down, it's Jones. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 9.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing just outside his own goal line. Gets around him. 51 yards on the punt there.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And Detroit getting set to go now.
The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
On 1st down, it's gone. And this is going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Goff. It's Williams on the catch.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Goff. Man open. It's St. Brown. He's got it. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 28. It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
You ready to roll? Me and you, game time. Let's rock and roll. Let's get some run.
Goff throwing again. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Goff. It's complete to Williams. And they'll get this down to the 10. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Again, Goff. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. And the sack leads to roughly a loss of 6, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
The 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of it.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. To throw is Goff. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now Goff. Complete to Wright. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 10 yards gets them closer, but now it's 4th and goal.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down, so you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, guy, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to swell the lead to 6. Seibert able to knock this one through, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Now a play fake. Rodgers.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. His throw incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw, it's Rodgers.
Got a man, it's Tunyon.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers again now. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Lions are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
Another important fourth-quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. The busy night continues for Williams. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Goff. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice. Is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
Now Goff on first down.
He'll drop this down to Williams, and he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield goes underneath. Nice gain.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Goff. Open man right side is St. Brown.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is second and less than a yard. To the air again, Goff. He'll go right back to St. Brown. And the Lions are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Gone. And it's caught. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5. Back to throw, Goff. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
They had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Here's Goff. Toward the pylon, caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. Fourth and goal.
Well, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
They run. It's Williams. And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. Williams stopped up short of the goal line on fourth down. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on fourth down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On the counter, here's Jones. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action, but other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Catch made by Watson on the out route.
And he'll get this up to right around the 8-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Returnable here from the 38.
Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5.
We're going to look at Amon-Ra St. Brown as his offense readies for the next drive.
He's been almost impossible to bottle up. You see that number 10 on your screen, a big reason why they have the lead.
One of the guys that's being featured in this game and making sure that he's targeted because they do trust him with the ball. That's why they go back to him time and time again.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift.
And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Goff. And that is incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will stay a 1-score game as the lead will hold at 6.
Things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Rodgers to throw.
Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
1st down now, but that clock rolling.
Back to throw, Rodgers. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Now Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. To throw is Rodgers.
He finds Watson complete. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Running flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
First down now, but the clock continues to move.
They'll look to throw. This one swung out here to Jones.
Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
Back to throw. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him, all focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up fourth.
Partner, what a finish to this one. I mean, this offense, they had it down there inside the red zone, but ultimately couldn't execute that final snap to find the end zone.
Yeah, and they're going to walk away from this one, and you know what's going to go through their heads the entire time until they get to play again. If we could only have that final snap to do over one more time, maybe with a different play call.